one thing that's so nice about being on different boards and being involved with these groups is that you hear things before they all of a sudden just pop on your front door. So you hear about legislation that's going on. You hear about different scams, different pieces of equipment. So it's, it may be business for the association, but there's also a huge amount of items and stuff that you can use and take home to your business to make your business better.
Welcome to Peer Talk, a dialogue with business owners just like you. Peer Talk conversations run the gamut of business challenges facing owners today. The host of Peer Talk is Dan Crowley, founder and owner of Peer Executive Groups, which provides a safe space for owners to share their experience, grow their businesses, and learn from their peers.
Hi, this is Dan Crowley. We have a number of great business owners in our Peer Executive Group network, and our job is to give them a voice. Welcome to Peer Talk.
360 Payments is a proud sponsor of Peer Talk. We make payments simple, secure, and cost-effective for your business. Our team is experts in the rental industry and have a goal of making payments an afterthought so you can focus on what's most important, your customers, employees, and families. Drop us a line at 360payments.com/PEG for Peer Executive Group, and we will be happy to give you a complimentary review of your current processing situation to see how we can help.
Today on Peer Talk, we have a very special guest from Oregon. It is Dave Dworschak. He is the owner of Don's Rental. Don's Rental has been around since 1967. It's about the same age as me, your host, Dan Crowley. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you today.
Nice to see you. Looking forward to unpacking how things are going at Don's, as well as finding out about your involvement with the California Rental Association. As we all are aware, the rental rally is happening through the month of February. So this is one of a series of podcasts supporting that effort. So let's get right to it. Dave, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into the industry and the origins of Don's? I think that's always a good place to start.
Okay, well, I'll try to make this short because it's whatever. My dad decided that he thought it would be fun to hop into the rental industry back in about 1965. At the time, I was in kindergarten. And so just growing up in the rental industry every day after school, I would not go home. I would always go to the rental store because you just walk home back to the store. And so I've been involved with it since I was very, very small. And went off to college, came back from college, did a few stints in other businesses, and then came back to the business, and I've been there ever since. So this last time I've been at the office for the last 32, 33 years.
Wow. So you have been there for quite some time. Has the location changed or been the same? Or
all we've done is just literally wandered down the block. We happen to be in a very small town, and things had been offered to us over the years. And so my dad was offered the building he was renting, and he ended up purchasing that. And then we ended up purchasing the rest of the property on the block. Not a big block, but nevertheless. And so we just literally wandered down the street 100 feet.
Wow. Excellent. And you're, so anybody been along for the ride with you? Any employees, longtime employees or?
My longest term employees at this point, we've got probably 2 or 3 people that have been there 12 to 15 years.
Gotcha. Wow. Excellent. And you're $1 million operator. Over $1 million operator. Have you always been at this level, or were you grown into this level?
We've been wandering around some, and when I joined Peer Executive Groups, one of my goals was to hit the $1 million mark. And in fairly short order, I did manage to trip over that wire. And so, yes, we wander around a little bit, but we finally hit that goal. But there are many more to go.
Well, we appreciate you mentioning Peer Executive Groups, but you've also had some more help along the way. Tell us about how Point of Rentals had an impact in your business.
Well, we've been computerized for 30 years, and we've been with POR since 2009.
Wow.
And it's been, it has its ups and downs, but it's been a really good product and a real help at times. Right now, because of the fact of just being computerized for so long, we are tidying our files up and have been for the last 6 to 9 months during the downish times. And so it's just making our life a whole lot easier for doing inventory and tracking and monitoring and getting much better reports out of the program.
Yeah, and if you're able to look at your classes of assets and get a sense of profitability by, asset class and looking at utilization, things that, typically people can't access unless they have that type of software. So you have your asset classes changed over the decades, or?
Well, I've always been a little bit daring, sometimes to my detriment, but over the years, we've wandered into different things. We used to be much more a construction rental store. That kind of all wandered away. All of the mills in our town have sort of disappeared. We then wandered our way into being very much a homeowner store. And well, again, we're in a very small area. We're 30 miles outside of Portland, Oregon. And people would prefer to be able to get stuff in town. So I carry stuff that, well, really, frankly, doesn't make sense for a lot of people. But, we started getting asked to fill paintball cylinders for paintball. And, well, that wandered into filling cylinders for kegerators and for SodaStream and for grow operations.
Gotcha.
And then we also wandered into doing Halloween costumes, and with that came tuxedo rentals for prom and for high school events and weddings and things. And so that kind of helped that way. So we'll try it for a while. Some things work, some stuff doesn't.
And you're, is it South Columbia County, or what county are you?
Yeah, we're in, they call it South Columbia County, which is the county adjacent or most close to Portland proper.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, obviously we're going to talk about your ability to get around and get to shows and travel and all that, so forth. I know that you love your business, but you also love to be on the road. Where's that passion come from? Is that you or your partner that drives that? What makes you want to travel and get out?
Well, I've always liked to travel some, but my partner is very Eurocentric, and so we like to get to Europe every couple of years. Well, obviously things right now aren't working that well, but if I'm traveling, oftentimes I just have to travel in order to be able to go to trade shows and me away from it gets my head clear and focused on doing things for the business. And so I can just better concentrate and better focus on the business when I'm not always there.
Excellent. And I'm obviously the peer groups has kind of been something that I've gotten people to take a look at their business from the 40,000 foot level, right? Get on a plane. I guess it's 36,000 feet, right? In planes, I forget where they travel at, but the idea is to kind of be up and looking down at your business. And I think you and I may have met at the Northwest conference for ARA, or what was that?
I'm not proof positive. It would not surprise me if that's where it was at.
It was in Montana, I remember.
Oh, that's right. Yes. And so that was definitely Northwest Rental Conference. Yes.
Gotcha.
My very first meeting.
Excellent. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, so tell us a bit about your serving these associations, because I think that's where I first met you, and then I was like, oh, he's involved in the Northwest region. That's interesting. And then I found out you're very active in the California Rental Association. So tell us about, what made you gravitate? How did that all happen?
So it was a long, drawn out story, but we I was back at ARA, I believe in Moline, for a leadership training meeting. And everybody was asking, well, what does Region 8 of ARA want? Well, everybody in the group said, well, everybody's begging for a trade show again. So the 8 of us that were in that room sat down and decided, okay, let's start a trade show. And so that was sort of the impetus for the start of the Northwest Rental Conference. This last year would have been our 20th year. That didn't quite happen. We will be resuming that in 2022 with all the schedule changes. But it got me more involved in seeing people and meeting exhibitors and education and things. And then from there, I was asked if I would be interested in participating with the California Rental Association. And so I hopped on the board about that time as well with the CRA and have been there kind of ever since. And the one thing that's so nice about being on different boards and being involved with these groups is that you hear things before they all of a sudden just hop on your front door. So you hear about legislation that's going on. You hear about different scams, different pieces of equipment. So it's very much, it may be business for the association, but there's also a huge amount of items and stuff that you can use and take home to your business to make your business better.
Wow, that was a great commercial for being part of an association. I appreciate that. And especially in a leadership role. I mean, we get communications from all the associations, but there is nothing like being able to participate at a leadership level and find out what's happening in those areas as soon as possible. So you're from Oregon, but you're part of the California Rental Association. So evidently you don't have to be a California rental operator to join.
That is very true. The California Rental Association tries to have as much diversity as they possibly can. So they welcome a lot of people from the West Coast. Just because you are from Oregon or Washington or Hawaii or Nevada, they've got members who are in as far away as Guam that belong to the CRA. So it's a wide-ranging association. They do tend to center on a lot of California laws and rules, which are obvious, but they have a lot of good information for people who are not in California.
Yeah, I mean, we get a ton out of it as peer executive groups. Obviously, we have members all over the country, but everything moves, as you know, west to east. So as goes California, so goes everybody else, whether it has to do with emissions or has to do with policy around people, things like that. So we appreciate what you guys are doing for everybody in the industry out there. What about how do others get involved with governance? So you guys, I learned last week that you don't have necessarily regions inside CRA, right? They're called something else, or are they called regions?
They tend to be, there are territories or regions within CRA.
Territories, that's it.
But yeah, so the people that are the staff that are on the board members are not necessarily from, they try to have different regions represented within CRA's board.
Mm-hmm.
But, I am one of the people that is from outside of the region. So it's not that I represent Oregon, but I kind of tend to represent a bit of the Northwest area. There are vendors on the CRA board, and so they try to bring the sales portion or the sales information to CRA. And so everybody is fairly well informed of what's going on. And so we're not trying not to make decisions in a vacuum.
So tell us a little bit about your role as secretary. How do you have to go to is there a quarterly meeting, every executive board meeting? Is it 4 times annual, or what was that like?
I am the secretary of CRA. I have kind of been there a little, probably too long for that, but that's just life. We have quarterly board meetings. I sit in on pretty much every meeting that CRA has.
Wow.
And so during Zoom meetings, I will have 2 computers running. And so I've got one computer running the Zoom call and one computer that I'm taking minutes on. And then everything is sort of not filtered through me, but I do the minutes for the association and have been doing those for probably 6 or 8 years now.
Excellent. And anything exciting on the horizon? Obviously, we have to get through the rest of the pandemic, but I know California Rental Association, even back when Dale was operating as the director, always had some great events, had some great opportunity for members to gather together. Have you broached that subject yet in a meeting, or?
We have not yet. We're starting to work already on the 2022 show, which will be in Las Vegas again. But short of that, we don't have anything necessarily booked, but we're waiting for the pandemic to start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel before we're really trying to plan too much farther, just because it's been difficult, as everybody is quite well aware of.
Absolutely. Well, we know you had to make a call there at the end. I think you were very much directly involved with the decision not to go forward with Las Vegas. I think that was a brilliant move. I think everybody's agreeing with you on that decision. And hopefully the rental rally continues virtually here, and people are able to get a little taste of the different associate members and different opportunities available through CRA in that. What are anything to note? I know you had a couple attempts at webinars or web meetings with people.
Yeah, we did a virtual cocktail hour, which was rather interesting and a lot of fun. And we had my brain is leaving me right at the moment. We had a question and answer time, basically sort of Jeopardy type questions about CRA over the 75 years that we have been in a trade association. This year would have been our 75th Diamond Jubilee. We will be trying to rehost that again in 2022 when we're back in Vegas again.
Wow, excellent. Yeah, and I realized you had that. It's a 75th anniversary, right?
Yes.
Right. That's amazing. Amazing. Okay, we've got a minute here for a couple quick questions for you. So you are part of the famous bag group called Bro Bag. And what does Bro stand for, by the way, in Bro Bag?
Oh, now you're being mean to me. Badass rental operators.
Okay, so you heard that, and I didn't even say it out loud. So I just wanted our listeners to know what Bro Bag stood for. But Bro Bag is famous inside of all the general tool and equipment peer groups because you guys really own a thing called Rate of Change. And I'm probably going to embarrass you again, but have you been keeping up with your Rate of Change submission?
Oh, yes, I did it just a couple of days ago. So, yes, I was second or third this month of actually getting it done. Other months I've been a little lax, but yes.
So encouraging all the other members of other groups to make Rate of Change part of your regular dialogue. Just to give you a 2-second synopsis on it, essentially you're just looking at your sales numbers in the rental area by month, as well as in 3-month chunks and in 12-month chunks. And we compare that to the previous period, and that gives us our rate of change. It tells us how much we're growing or receding, and we can actually have that as part of the dialogue amongst the members. Would you say that's an accurate description, Dave?
Very accurate description, yes.
Excellent. Anything else Anything you want to share with the group? What to look out for in 2021?
Nope. I think that at this point, just try to order your equipment that you need and order early, because our exhibitors / vendors are very booked up. I had to place an order for one item and they said, great, we'll get you on the books. We're 3 months out. So order heavy, order early.
Order heavy, order early. Words of wisdom from Dave Dworschak at Don's Rentals. So thanks for joining us today, Dave.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
360 Payments is a proud sponsor of Peer Talk. We make payments simple, secure, and cost-effective for your business. Our team is experts in the rental industry and have a goal of making payments an afterthought so you can focus on what's most important, your customers, employees, and families. Drop us a line at 360payments.com/PEG for Peer Executive Group, and we will be happy to give you a complimentary review of your current processing situation to see how we can help.
You've been listening to Peer Talk from Peer Executive Groups, produced and directed by Noah Crowley and hosted by Dan Crowley. Subscribe to this podcast for notifications of future episodes of Peer Talk.